All right, guys, welcome to episode 13 of the Luna Lounge podcast. What happens when you combine a Pusheen with a giant tongue and someone who never invites tFay to her wedding? Yes, I'm emphasizing that title for this episode because it is the best title.
The answer to that is something that you can only see on OnlyFans, I'm guessing.
We have our two lovely guests, Boss, Jess. If you ever watch any of my streams, you're familiar with Boss. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. So my name is not Boss. It is Jess, also known as Any Adventure Goes. What kind of introduction do you like? Like what I do? That kind of deal?
Whatever you want to say.
That is true.
Well, I am a full-time variety streamer, and I stream usually about 6 days a week. Calm games in the morning, and then in the afternoon we do more of our adventure style games. We do cooking, we do crafting, we do I just had a travel one recently. We try to stream when we travel, all those kind of things. And I was, as the title mentions, I was just recently married.
Well, congrats on that marriage.
Why,
If
thank
only
you.
you'll accept that you are boss. One day.
Never.
And then our other lovely guest who has a bit of trouble controlling their tongue right now, we have Lichat.
Yes.
Yeah. So my name's actually Lichat. It's kind of a combination of my first name mixed with little cat in French. I'm French Canadian, but tFay calls me Licky Tongue, and he has many commands to let me know about that on his channel. But yeah, what's that?
No idea what you're talking about. No.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I came onto Twitch to connect with people. I mainly stream Stardew Valley. Occasionally I'll do another little game. And I also love gardening, baking, and pushing. So that's me.
So, do you stream cooking on your stream?
I do not. It's something that my viewers have asked about, but
I know the
have not.
feeling.
I haven't said I don't have the right setup to do it. I could probably figure it out, but I just haven't dabbled into it yet. Maybe a community challenge at some point. We'll see.
I would say that's like a point of contention around here is the term variety streamer, because it's usually used in context of I stream a variety of video games. But I guess I was the one that it's now me that has the problem with it, not just tFay. Is that it's very uninformative when someone comes in and says they're a variety streamer. It doesn't really tell you anything about them as a streamer. So, like, Jess is one of the few that I actually feel like variety streamer is a very fitting title for, because she not only does video games, she does cooking, she does arts and crafts, stuff like that, traveling. Like, to me, that's what a true variety streamer is.
Like,
so that's why I was kind of curious if you were also one of those crazy people that actually do more than just video games on Twitch.
For the time being, not really. I do a lot of just chatting mixed with Stardew is probably the best way to define what my content is. I've recently
is not a variety streamer. Like,
I am far from being a variety streamer. But yeah, it's pretty comfy, cozy vibes, a little bit of French mixed with plants and Pusheen, and that's me. I do Pusheen unboxings. It's something that, I'm buying the product anyways, so I figured might as well share it with you guys what loot I got in the mail. I know Jess kind of does something like that with tea, or you used to. I haven't.
I did. Yes, I get tea boxes, and I've taken a break from the tea boxes because I got overwhelmed with tea, and with the wedding, I wasn't doing drinking as much. So, but come fall, that'll probably be kicking back in again.
Yeah.
No, that's very cool. tFay, would you like to tell both chat anyone that's new and for people listening to the podcast why you like to call Jess boss? Because I'm sure people are curious why.
I call, so, for those who don't know, the three of us, me, Noctis, and Boss, are part of a mini stream team, not really official stream team, but we're a team who streams, so by literal definition we're a stream team called the League of Extraordinary Wholesomeness, which is basically a group of streamers who try to do charity streams and the whatnot. And we were just in there chatting, having a good time. And boss was like, you guys, I'm putting my foot down. You guys all have to call me boss. Like, I am actually requiring this of all of you. And I was like, don't you think that's get a bit silly for all of us to call you boss? And she was like, nope, you have to call me boss. I'm not going to respond to anything else. And I was like, all right.
Yep, I'm now realizing the mistake of asking tFay that question.
In my head, I was like, can you feel me glaring through the microphone at you? Because that is what's happening right now.
tFay wanted me to ask so he could set up so I set up the joke for him. It makes him feel better,
I understand. It's okay.
I honestly was shocked when you asked me of all people.
I mean,
what did you think was gonna happen?
Okay. Do you want like the boring story of how we had another streamer join the team that's named Jess, and that just made kind of confusion in the chat when we're trying to set stuff up. So how do we separate them? So we're like, one could be Adventure Jess and one could be Arrow Jess. And it's like, well, Adventure Jess is really long. So Tifa's like, what if we called her Boss Jess? Because she's kind of the one that keeps us all in line. That's the boring story.
Do I keep any of you in line ever? Let's be completely honest here.
I mean,
yes, very much so.
If you cut the world in half with a giant line, we are technically always in line, depending on your perspective.
What?
I don't think that's what that means, but
That's
yeah, sure. Okay, let's go with
what
that.
that means. Lee just told me to say that. She passed me a note.
Oh,
wait,
right.
Oh man, yeah. No, that's the the official story of why she's called Boss, which I still don't like. Until Jess says, I want people to call me boss, then I'll sign up for it.
First of all, I want on record that her entire community calls her boss, and I explicitly told them not to at first, but then they all just went ahead and did it anyway.
That is I'm going to call bullshit on that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure tFay started all this madness.
No, I started it, but I actually said, no, if you go back, I don't know if Boss even remembers this. I was actually telling people not to all call her Boss because I didn't want to name a joke name that I came up with just to be like the official thing in case she didn't want everyone to call her Boss.
This is actually accurate. This is he did try to cull the herd initially, and then it just kind of grew exponentially.
Yeah, but you don't start a fire and then like, oh well, I kind of tried to put it out. That's not my fault.
All I did was literally call her boss, and everyone found it so funny. I wasn't like, hey everybody, we should all call her boss as a joke.
Yeah, you go into someone's chat, call someone Lichat enough, and now they heard.
No. That was not my idea. Lee gave me that one.
No, I can explain where the licky tongue came from. So obviously my name is kind of a variation on a French word which means little cat. But when I go into different communities, if it's not a francophone community or a French community, it's always kind of like people look at my name and they kind of cringe a little bit and they don't know how to pronounce it and they're so scared to mispronounce it. But on a few occasions, I've gone into communities where I've actually rated somebody and they call me Licky Tongue and my chat would just lose it and start laughing. So I kind of made it a joke and I said, you know what? If I ever get partnered on Twitch, not ever thinking that it would ever happen, I will get a Licky Tongue emote commissioned. And then 2 minutes later, one of my good friends actually sent me a picture of a chibi Licky Tongue, and it kind of became like the joke on my channel. So that's the real story behind Licky Tongue for anybody wondering. But it's funny because now when people call me that, my chat spams the Licky Tongue emote. So it's great.
I mean, yeah. So see, it's not my fault. I'm just really good at running with memes and making them worse. I guess.
That's accurate.
If we're
I'm still highly doubtful. I think Jess was just gaslit by tFay.
I don't think I've ever seen Boss being gaslit.
That's because you can't see yourself doing something. So
No, I mean, just like, I don't know. Boss, have you ever been gaslit on stream?
I don't think so.
Probably not. Oh
Would
my
I
God.
recognize it if I did? Probably not.
I don't know. All right, let's get Boss to play
Mhm.
Among Us, and then we'll just, vent her. We'll just say she vented before the game even starts, and then we'll just eject her right away, and then let's see what happens.
I'm good with that. I like being dead in Among Us anyway because then I can do all of my tasks and float around and not like go through all the walls and stuff. I'm good with that.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
say
you
that
do-
until you're an imposter.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't have the advantage of being like I'm Canadian and wholesome. It will never be me, even when it is you.
There was the whole
That's a good
time where everyone
excuse. I
kept
like
voting me
that.
out for content. Oh my gosh, that
No,
pissed off a lot of people.
yeah, no, I actually convinced somebody who saw me kill somebody that it wasn't me. So that game was horrible. I was literally shaking the whole time, though.
Yeah,
I
so
hate
you
it.
people
I
are
hate
too
it.
nice. You got to be more assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to be a thing.
But like I
So
feel that's common. Like when streamers stream Among Us with their community, they always end up either dying or getting accused just because they're the streamer. And I find that's a shame from what I've seen anyways. Like it's possible it's not everywhere, but the communities that I've been in, I've just seen the person getting accused of murder and they did literally nothing to be accused of it. Oh,
yeah,
that game.
so people
I've
with
seen
Among
tFay get that.
Us, yeah, definitely can get that. The thing with Among Us, and this is let's ignore the streamer bias for a second, is that people always want one of either two extremes. All right, and they either want to say fuck the rules and everyone just talks to each other, yells out, kills people randomly, just puts no thought into detective work at all, or they go so try hard that they like don't let anyone talk. They do anything they can to make someone seem guilty, and I mean anything. They'll like do the most obnoxious, and they basically just take away the fun for like all the medium players and anyone who wants to just play casually, just like casually try to play Among Us, but like not go extreme one side or the other. It's like impossible to do, actually impossible. And then it's even worse if you're a streamer.
Yeah, but it's especially when you can like see someone's reaction on screen. You're just kind of asking for it because when when it's just voice, that's one thing. But when you can see someone on screen freaking out because they were just shot into space despite not being the imposter, it opens trolling up and makes it a little bit more fun.
I mean, then there's the whole side issue of VTubers in Among Us.
See, I just don't think I'm that fun to troll. Because half the time when trolls come in, I either don't understand what they're doing and they just leave, or like I've had someone come in and be like, "Hey, you stink at this game," and I'll just be like, "Yeah, I know I do. Thanks. I hope you're having a good day so far." And they just hate that and then they leave.
Wait, you're not.
I was
fun
just gonna
to
say
troll?
I was just gonna say I really enjoyed trolling you, Jess.
I'm pretty sure I would agree in it.
But I feel for like you guys know me and like know how to get under my skin, but not actually get under my skin, you know? Like in a fun way. Whereas like actual like people who want to be trolls and be
So
like
basically,
difficult
like,
and that
yeah, you're basically
people
a
who
streamer.
don't know me.
You're a streamer who's not phased when people say you're bad.
Oh yeah.
Which
Or they
is
come
the
in and
best.
say I think the biggest one that I had was very early in streaming where it was more of an inappropriate comment made about my physicality, and I just did not know how to handle that because I was still too early in and was very uncomfortable. And so that I think was probably the worst one. But once I got through that, I kind of like when other people come in and say weird stuff to me, I'm just kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever. Cool.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.
That's what banning is for. That's
Yeah.
it. Like,
I
if you're
have
a new streamer, do not hesitate to ban someone, because if they're making you uncomfortable at all, they shouldn't even be in your chat. Just get rid of them.
Mhm.
You might make a mistake once or now and then, and it was just a miscommunication. But honestly, I'd rather play it safe than them make someone else in my chat feel uncomfortable, or continue to make me uncomfortable.
True. Yep.
So the weird thing that that's like I see that's the very common answer, and it's said a lot. And the way I see that is a really hard time is for new streamers and or new mods. For new streamers, because every viewer is like gold. If you have they want to get the not zero viewers, not zero people talking to the chat. So if there's anyone talking to the chat, it does not matter what they're saying. They want them there. And then for the new mods, and I've had this happen for me and I've seen in other streams, they're so afraid to ban people because they don't know if it's allowed. And I've had a scenario where I was actually called into a stream by a mod because they weren't sure what to do because someone's being like the worst toxic piece of shit ever. And I was like, ban them! Ban them! What are you doing calling me over? I'm not even a mod! Ban them!
Just get them out.
I think the worry with moderators is they don't know what your limit is necessarily. So I think if you have moderators on your channel, it's important that they know what the expectation is and what your limit is. And you might not even know what that limit is, but when it happens, you'll kind of learn from it as you go. So like we've encountered a couple of odd people. Like there's weird people online, and there's some people that go and troll, and you don't really know. But if you have clear rules, you can kind of work with that. And I think the people that you choose to mod for you, it should be people that you trust. So you're trusting that if they ban someone, you're going to support that decision. And if you don't support that decision, then you need to explain why you don't support that decision. So I think it's clarity, right? But you can't be scared of banning people, like you said.
Absolutely.
So the scariest time I've ever had in the chat was I was watching another streamer. We won't go by names. And tFay got to watch part of this, I believe. I watched the VOD. And pardon me. So this person in chat just starts saying weird things, and like the mods aren't doing anything. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Like, why don't you ban them? But they didn't ban them. This continues. Suddenly, the streamer I'm watching gets a call from a number they don't recognize. They hang up on him and they keep calling, and it's just like I feel like I'm getting ready to watch a streamer get murdered on chat.
A little bit.
And it honest to God gave me anxiety watching this and watching her mods. Like someone, like the person in all caps types out, "Do not hang up on me again," and it's just like, why mods? What? Why is? And it turned out she knew this person. It was a friend of theirs that was trolling them. I don't care. I don't know. As a mod, I would not have hesitated to ban this person. And you can deal with your angry friend later. When your friend is being that creepy and unnerving.
Oh yeah, no.
It was anxiety inducing watching this. Like I said, I was pretty sure someone's about to be murdered. What do you do is contact Twitch, hey, something weird's going on? I reported them. I didn't before, like, because I'm just a viewer in chat. I can't do anything.
Mm-hmm,
all I can do is report them. And it's just like, you need to think about your other people in chat because it affects them. It was a weird experience, and even now thinking about it, yeah, a friend. Yeah, it didn't sound like a friend, but it was. It was weird.
They were apparently friends. They had a very weird relationship. I don't know.
I don't know. I would never call my friend like that.
It's like, and then so I saw a few people in the live chat commenting on like, you know, if you're a new streamer, like new mods, like how do you get them to do anything, or like, so not to say earlier, you can just tell your mods is one, but if you're someone who wants to like train them and or just not yell out, ban their ass, because you don't want to be called out as someone who's banning your chat, you could just create preemptive code words with your chat beforehand. Beforehand.
That's very good. Yep.
So if you just create, it's like, I could say, oh, if I'm saying someone's name and Zelda in the same sentence, ban their ass. And then my mods can then know that to ban their ass, and then chat is not aware that someone is being banned. Also, I find it really funny that Lee says mod people who you trust, and I'm thinking, who did I ever mod that was because I trusted them? I'm like looking through the list.
No, I call BS. On a sub level, you have to trust it. You wouldn't just hand out a mod sword to anybody.
No, I literally have given mod swords to people and just not given a crap, and then just see what happens afterwards.
Because I think it's you trust them at a secret level. If a crazy person came in and started trolling you and started calling you,
I mean,
I've
I've also removed mod swords, just to be fair, but I do not have a heavy screening process when like giving out mod swords. A bunch of mod swords I've given out because I ran out of VIP diamonds. I'm like,
That is exactly how you have a sword in tFay's chat. True story. He's like, I was going to give you a diamond. Oh, I don't have any more. I'm going to give you a sword instead. Oh, okay, cool. I don't have a sword in any other chat, so this ought to be a good time.
So then my question to you guys is, how do you choose your mods for your channel?
I currently try to create a balance. It's kind of like I just go, all right, who shows up when? That's my because I'm weird. I kind of have that on my mind. I'm like, all right, who's gonna generally always be there? Who's gonna not go crazy? Who wants to be a mod is also another thing. And I also have to remember, it depends on the streamer on who. Well, I guess how many times does a mod actually need to do something? All right, anyone who's been on my stream knows outside of shoutouts, you're basically doing your job once a month. Like, mods don't do anything in my stream. And even when they should do stuff, I usually just do it myself half the time because I can. So, I don't know.
I can't remember I seen someone actually banned, from chat. It's been several weeks at least. Since I've seen in your stream. I'm trying to think of the last time.
So I know I haven't had one in mine in a while.
The last time
I wish I could say the same, but literally last stream.
See, all right. So
also, I feel like something like that depends on the time of day. So, I know I stream. The few times I've had trolls in the stream, it's either my afternoon stream or if I'm doing the occasional late night stream that I do. That's where I find them the most. My 8 a.m., 9 a.m. streams, nothing happens in those streams. It's a very boring stream as far as that is concerned. So I think that really makes a difference as well as the certain time of day that it happens.
I've noticed that certain games have different types of communities, and in my case, being in the Stardew Valley community, there's not many individuals that usually will come across because most people are pretty chill that play that game. But I wouldn't want to imagine what a League of Legends streamer is going through,
Legends,
or somebody playing. Yeah,
Oh,
those
yeah.
type of games. I
Minecraft.
can't imagine.
CS:GO.
Yeah.
Minecraft is a tough one because of how varied it is. I think there are so many wholesome streamers out there filled with wholesome chats. It kind of helps balance out the level of toxicity. Whereas League of Legends, I don't think I've ever been in a stream where I didn't see someone that was at least one person acting like a dick.
True.
Yeah, because I've streamed Minecraft. I've seen tFay stream Minecraft. I've seen lots of people stream Minecraft. You enjoyed it. Shut up. You liked it.
No. That's not the stream itself isn't the part I regret. It's the people that Minecraft summons.
Yeah,
not the people I want. Typically in my community.
Yeah. But that's just as you stream more and more, learning how to cultivate the crowd that you're looking for. If you just start streaming a first person shooter, you're gonna get a very, very different crowd from Stardew Valley, I imagine.
Possibly the same crowd. I don't know.
A lot of intersection there.
I mean, it depends, right? I did stream other games early on when I started streaming, and Fall Guys, I noticed, had a lot of trolls, and it was a very trolly type game.
For sure.
So I feel like certain games just have that as baggage, as part of the package, and it's unfortunate, but it's also the volume of people playing the game, I think, that has an impact on that. Because people won't necessarily try stuff in smaller communities because they probably want attention from it. But that's just my own personal opinion.
I mean, which you really should do. If you really want to troll, you pick a game that not a whole lot of people are playing, Like in League of Legends, you get drowned out. You really want to troll someone, go look for them playing like one of the Professor Layton games. We're not talking a lot of people there. You're gonna stand out
Are you
really
calling
good.
me out for being like the only one on Twitch playing those games at some point?
That was amazing. Yeah, that was amazing. It's the first time I've ever seen one streamer playing a game, and I've played some games that no one gives a shit about, but there's always been other people that were playing them.
That's
Okay.
happened to me. My Saturday morning games that I've been doing lately, No Place Like Home. It's a small game in early access. And I was like, I wonder if we can find anyone. It just has a brand new update. Let's go see if we can raid someone playing the game. Literally, I was the only one playing the game. I was like, oh.
Okay, so apparently there's some people, actually this has been for a while, so I'm just gonna address this first time on the podcast. There is literally a better chance of me streaming in Canada while baking mooncakes, while writing an essay live saying why Boss is not Boss, and how Lee is not Lichat, and just praising Noctis for 3 hours, than to play League of Legends on stream. Just to make that very clear.
Wow. So okay, so like stream control.
No.
Would you deny it?
For 1 million mooncakes, I would not do League of Legends on stream.
Honestly, you should make that a goal. You should make a 100 million mooncake.
No, because someone's actually going to save up for it.
Probably. But at that point, it's got to be that's
How many times do I need to be in his stream?
he would have to stream like 80 hours every week for like 20 years before he got that many. That's a huge amount. 100 million. How long would that take? And you'd have to be sub to him for all that time to double your mooncake.
A very long time. And just
Didn't
no,
you
I just refuse. I just refuse. There's nothing that would make me do it. There's no world where that ends up in a good place.
Yeah, no. So, okay, while we're talking about channel points, how do you two pick your channel point of rewards? I'm kind of curious.
Do you want to go? Oh, go ahead, Jess.
I was gonna say it
I
varies.
swear we need a dice to choose who talks. I swear.
So next time, instead of like putting it open, we'll single someone out, and then the other host can tell, hey, why didn't you pick the other person? Because didn't that happen last stream? I picked one person, and tFay's like, okay, I guess only one person gets to ask the question.
Yes.
So for my channel points, I have quite a variety. I have some that are centered specifically around holidays. For instance, back in February during Valentine's Day week, I had specific channel points where people could redeem their channel points to send a Valentine's Day card to children at St. Jude's Hospital. I got this trivia book, and we did a trivia night one night, and everyone enjoyed it so much I set that as a redemption that we can do trivia whenever people want. During Earth Day, I had one for planting a tree. If you, I would pay $1 to plant a tree for every 1,000 channel points. And then I've kind of rotated things in and out. So we have a story time one where I have just stories from my time working at Walt Disney World, times as a teacher, times from when I was a kid, that I'll just rotate through. So I really went through when I was first planning them, I definitely went through a bunch of Google searches being like, okay, what are the most popular types, just to come up with some ideas. And then as the channel progressed, I definitely have planned more around what we do as a channel. Just people will come up with ideas or things they want to see, and then I'll add them in afterwards.
Okay, apparently we have to get Lee to talk. Lee!
I was just gonna go, but I was like, I'm always scared. I'm not somebody that's scared about filling the silence. If you ever watch me stream, I cannot stand silence. I feel like I need to fill the silence. So I'm trying to hold back a little bit. So that's why I'm a little slow sometimes.
Okay.
in my case, when I started streaming, obviously before you're affiliated, you don't have channel points. So I was trying to think of ways that I could interact and engage with the people on my channel, and that was really important to me. That was probably the bread and butter of my channel because, like I said, I wanted to connect with people. That's why I came on Twitch. So I wanted my viewers to have something for them, but that I could also interact with. So it kind of started. I have a love of gardening. I had all of these plant pots that I had left over from my wedding because our wedding got reduced. And I thought to myself, what can I do with all these? And then I had all these leftover plants from my wedding that I had propagated. And I was like, you know what? I love gardening. Let's bring plants into the mix of this. And how can I incorporate them? So initially I didn't really have anything like that. I was playing with the sound alerts and the basic Twitch stuff. And so like the hydrate, the stretch, those kind of things. I did not want a posture check on purpose because I know my posture is terrible. So I didn't want people spamming the posture check. And I learned very quickly that I needed to put cooldowns on those because they got annoying very quickly. The hydrates and the stretch, because somebody went ham, and it's that one person that will ruin it for the whole channel. And you're like, okay, well, I guess we're putting cooldowns on everything now.
That and the sound alerts. Yep.
Yeah, the sound alerts as well was another one. But I was like, okay, so how can I make this, true to me and a fun way for my viewers to interact with me and who I am. So I think one of the first things I put on there was actually the first tier that I have on my channel, which basically the first 5 people on my channel can redeem it for like 10 points. It's really cheap. And that first tier badge, basically, I wanted to find a way to go one step further with that because I saw other channels that had it. So I found a way to just kind of do a simple little text box, and it kind of became my thing. And people were fighting to get the first tier. And I started doing that because I found that starting stream, it is so hard to get people in those first few minutes. So it kind of became like a competition. So people started actually idling on my page, waiting for me to go live so they could redeem that. And that was one that I really enjoyed. And then I added the French translation stuff. I thought it'd be a fun little something different. So like basically I had one where I would translate a French text. I had one where I would talk French for 3 minutes, which I still have. And then I went one step further and got a beret. So I basically kept building on the first initial thing. And I think the big one that I had was probably I had a community plant that I planted on my very first affiliate stream. And then I decided, okay, these plant pots that I have to do something with them. So I came up with a redemption. Instead of doing a VIP reward for 50K, like I see a lot of people doing, I decided, you know what? They're gonna get a plant. What are we gonna name this? We're gonna name it a plant legacy. So now people are kind of trying to pick away and get their very own plant. I just put their name on it and I take care of it, but it's something special. And it's kind of like, hey, you've been to my channel this many times. You've been a viewer. I value you. So here you have a plant that I'm going to try to not kill. Luckily, all of the plants are still alive. So that's kind of some of the thought that went into, I guess, my channel. And we just kind of figured it out along the way.
Yeah, it's definitely something that grows with you and your channel because you start figuring out things that people enjoy, and then like once you figure out more about your channel and what you want your channel to be, that's how you're able to start thinking of more options and things like that.
Also, in general, for all the listeners out there, never be afraid to kill channel awards or to experiment and say, hey, I'm gonna make a channel award and I'm just gonna put it out there, and then if it goes badly, I'll just take it down. There's like
absolutely
nothing wrong with that. Also, don't be afraid to rip off other channels.
Yeah.
I'd
say that's a good way to do streaming in general, to be honest. Especially once you're first starting. Don't be afraid to try new things.
for sure. I have plenty that I actually like. I have all my channel points that I've ever used I have saved, but I have a bunch of them turned off because there are certain times of years, or I tried it and I had a couple like not great reactions from it, so then I'm like, well, that's not one that we're going to use very often, for sure.
Yeah, and I think for me anyways, and I'm sure it's the same for you, Jess, you've had to probably tweak how much the rewards cost as well. Like I remember when I started doing the French redeem, it got a little out of hand. And it actually got to the point where I was doing more French than English, which is fine, but nobody could actually understand it. So I was like, okay, well, now I have this great product. It was great for 3 minutes, but it's not great for 15 minutes. You know what I mean? So I had to kind of play with that, put a cooldown, and tweak, bring the amount of the channel point redemptions up to kind of balance. So, like you said, you
Absolutely.
grow with it. You grow with it.
Yeah,
But that's
but
what's
I would do the
awesome is
same
they
thing.
the limits, like how many people can redeem it
Oh,
to help to avoid that as well.
Yeah, don't
I've
be
had to
scared to
put
use those.
I had to put that on giving me a cookie because apparently everyone wants to give me cookies. I've had to put limits and make that more expensive because everyone wants to give me a cookie and I had to fit into a wedding dress. And everyone wants to give Jeffrey treats, and we have to make sure that we limit how many treats Jeffrey gets, even though she's glaring at me right now as I say that.
But I think that's a good point, Jess. Like people who have dogs and cats and they use their dogs and cats, which is great. Like it's great to be able to have a pet and find a way to and have your viewers kind of interact with them and be like, hey, this is my pet. But at the same time, like you don't want to be giving treats to your pets the entire stream. Like at the
Absolutely.
end of the day, you want to make sure that they're healthy too and that you're staying healthy and not eating cookies all stream.
Exactly. Yep.
And you gotta like base the costs around your own channel, right? Because I've seen like if you look at popular streamers, you'll have their cheapest channel reward at like 5,000-10,000, which sounds ridiculous, for streamers like us. But you have to remember, like people are watching for them for like so long, and there's so many of them that if they had cheap channel rewards, it's just gonna be spammed over and over again, or just used immediately, and there's no point of having it. It's like you kind of have to like gauge that, like things that I have for like 50,000, like stream control. I've seen other people have it for like 10K, 5K,
Yeah.
5K, 1K.
Yeah.
You
But
kinda
that all
have to, like,
depends
adjust
on
that.
the number of people in your chat. If you're like only have 1 to 2 people on average, then you can do whatever you want at that point. But it also kind of feels like it'd be just as easy for you to like talk to them and say, hey, what game would you like to see me stream next? Instead of making them do a channel point reward.
I mean, no, people like the channel point order because it sort of justifies them requesting things, I have found. So basically, if I'll say, hey, what channel point reward do you guys want? And people go, I don't know, do whatever you want, tFay. And they'll be like, all right, you can now spend channel points to make a channel point reward, whatever you want. They're like, I got it. I know exactly what I want. You're going to do this and it's going to be awesome. I'm like, you could have just said that for free. Like, why do you think I have make your own sound alert as a channel point reward?
That's actually a really good idea. I haven't thought about that, but because I have one that's like make a command to put into the chat, and I've had several people redeem that. I've never thought of it for that. That's really good.
But I think isn't that one of the default ones is make a command?
I think make a command is so, but there's not make a channel point reward. And I think make a channel point reward is one of those simple things that should be used a lot more for a lot of newer streamers, because it's sort of like you can still, try stuff on your own, but it sort of takes a bit of that pressure off because it allows people that option. Just make it cheap. Make it like 500. Like make it more natural for people to choose what they want without it sounding like they're just forcing the idea on you.
Do you guys watch anyone that doesn't have a lot of channel point rewards? Because I watch another streamer that has 2 of them, and they're pretty much only like he doesn't like channel point rewards. So I have like 100,000 points just sitting there doing nothing, and it's like just give me something to waste these on, please. I hate it.
You make a good point because there are a lot of channels that I go into where there aren't a lot of viewer rewards, and I'm kind of like, oh, like I want to redeem something, and sometimes I'm like, do I have enough? Like, is this enough? Like, am I doing enough? But then I go look at other channels, and I'm like, huh, interesting. Or like, there's other places where I have all these points, like you said, and I don't know what to do with them.
They only have like 5 or 6 things, or like I go to a couple channels where a lot of them are I have like 50,000-60,000 points, and a lot of their points are for doing something in the game or trolling them in some way, because that's just like the fun that they have with their community. but I don't want to do that. And so I sit there and I have like 80,000 points on their channel because I won't like put the death mask on them for 10 minutes so they can't see or something like that.
So this is my personal opinion on channel awards. You feel free to disagree, but my logic is if people are unable to spend their channel point rewards, like if people are able to save up over 100,000 and you don't even have anything that costs that much, you are failing in the regard of channel point rewards. Like people should be spending and or saving up to spend on something really expensive.
I think it's basic, like not quite addiction, but it makes your time spent. Like I know how many hours it takes to save up 100,000, and it makes it feel like it's validated by having something to waste those points on. As silly as that sounds.
No, I 100% agree.
Gaining them for nothing.
Well, no, it's a reward. And I remember when I had that French redeem and tFay got mad at me because I raised the price on it. And he was like, why did you raise the price on it? I'm like, because people kept redeeming it too much. And it was a lot. It was a lot for me. So I raised the price. And then he's like, well, I have to keep lurking on you. I'm like, exactly. It's working.
That's the point.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Do either of you guys have a channel point reward that you regret making? I'm kind of curious.
I'm trying to think.
Because for me, the one that comes to mind is I had a impersonate a Pokemon, and my co-host here, tFay, is a notorious troll when it comes to that. He can't just pick like, oh, could you do Pikachu? Could you do Gyarados? Could you do something fun? No, it's like, hey, could you do a Wurmple kind of being strangled by a Caterpie while they're both watching the Three Stooges? Because that'd be great. That's what I'm looking for. Like, how, oh my god, you know it. So sometimes that's the only one I regret making.
Honestly, I'm just scrolling through mine right now, and honestly, no. There's some that just like I have some that I've taken down because I'm using them for the charity stream that I'm doing right now. So I have those turned off, like the workout ones and things like that. But no, I don't. I think all of mine.
I got mine. Most regrettable channel point reward. Help Heavy. So for anyone who doesn't know, all right, I was doing a fundraising week for someone in our community who had a GoFundMe for fixing up his house, right? And I said, you know what would be interesting? For this entire week, I'll make it for every 1,000 channel points that you spend, I'll donate $1.
I warned you about this. I would just like to put that out there.
What I did, what I didn't consider, what I didn't account for was how many people have never spent channel points on my channel before. So I had people like, hey, I've known you for months. Oh, I could finally use my channel points for the first time ever. So people are like flexing. Oh, I have 70,000. I have 100,000. I have 80,000. It's like, God freaking damn it. Like,
it's very sweet of you, but wow.
The first day of that week, I remember messaging you at the end of the day going, are you going to be okay? This is only the first day. Are you going to be able to eat by the end of this week?
Yeah, you weren't the only one, Jess. A lot of people were messaging him like, are you sure this is a good idea?
I spent $905 that week. That just gah. I actually gave. I remember. I was so glad you guys didn't redeem this. By the way, I gave them a ridiculous challenge that if got me to 1,000 followers that week, I would double whatever the final count was.
Oh, I remember that.
It was not for a lack of trying on many people in the chat. I couldn't bring myself to.
I think I raided you twice that week, and I remember my chat wanting me to raid you like everything because I know that up the total as well, and I was just like, no, we're only going to raid him a couple times. I want to make sure that he can live.
Yeah.
On my end, I had put in this channel point redemption that's still there. It's just a lot more expensive than it used to be. But it's called Speed Drill Challenge, and I used to twirl baton quite frequently, and we had this thing where you would do this one twirl for a minute. and it was like a little toss from one hand to the other, and like I still do it, but it's a lot more expensive. And the funny part about it is the first time it was redeemed, I didn't think anyone would actually redeem it. I don't know, I wasn't prepared mentally for it. So I ended up like hitting a light. A plant was injured. Like it was a hot mess. So I did figure it out for future, but like I had no idea what I was doing. And there's like a clip by clip, and I just was laughing. It was hilarious. But I was like, after that stream, it went up by like 20K because I was like, no, we're done. We can't do this. So that was probably the only one that I regretted. Between that and I'm still not sure I want to keep French translated song. And it was funny because there was one viewer that actually saved up their channel points to redeem it 5 times or 7 times or something like that, so that I would sing the entire song in French. And it was a song that I did know that one, but there were other songs that I don't know. And then it's awkward. And I'm like, do I do it? Do I not do it? Do I listen to the song and then do it? But then I have to pause stream. So I'm like, what do I do with this? So I just kind of, I still have it there, but I'm like, do I want to keep this? I don't know. So that's me.
What's amazing about this is now people will have what to go to Lee's channel and reward. Now we know what to how to troll you. Thank you. We appreciate it.
I know, I totally gave you guys full ability. Speed drill challenge has been figured out. I've done it, I think, 3 times on the channel. It was just that first one that was done. I learned that I have to move the table. I have to put a timer on. We're good, you know?
Yeah, so one thing that I definitely wanted to talk about, because we don't really get this opportunity before, and we were kind of talking amongst ourselves before the podcast, like before the stream even started, but like, so we have Boss, or Mrs. Boss as it were, and who is actually a true variety streamer, as it were. Like, most of us are variety gamers, but that doesn't sound as nice. Boss actually does a variety of things, even though ironically, because the rest of us call ourselves variety streamer, her saying she's a variety streamer doesn't mean anything.
It's cheapened.
But we have the polar opposite in Lee, who is the rare case of someone who actually only does like 95% one thing, and actually got to partner really, really quickly doing that one thing. And I think that's just a very interesting discussion point. At least I found it very interesting before the stream started. It felt like we were wasting topics here. Lee, talk.
You're like, just go. Yeah, you know me too well. So for me, I was in that awkward stage early on of trying to discover what did I like doing. I got into Stardew a long time ago, and I had stopped playing it for a while, and I turned to Animal Crossing. It's actually how I got onto Twitch. I didn't even know what Twitch was actually until last, I think, July. July 10th, if I'm not mistaken, because that was the day that I got a message from a friend of mine, and well, now a friend of mine, but I didn't know them. It was a total stranger, and said, "Can I come visit your Animal Crossing island?" So that's how I got onto Twitch. And then when I started streaming, I already knew people on Twitch. So I think that's different from a lot of people who just start on Twitch and don't know anybody. It's very intimidating. And I remember before I went live for that very, very first time, I was actually doing multiplayer with that streamer that got me into Twitch. And that was kind of my introductory, I'm going to get to know people, but I didn't have a cam on or anything like that. I was just in a chat with them. So we were playing a lot of Stardew at the time, and Stardew had just gotten the 1.5 update. And I knew that I had a file that was fairly far along progressed that I really enjoyed playing on. And that 1.5 actually revitalized the entire game for it. And the interesting part is I never did decoration with Stardew Valley, but Animal Crossing kind of got me into a more decorating mindset, I guess. And so a lot of my stream became mini challenges or decorating the farm. And through that, and also me going around and meeting other streamers playing that same game, I kind of got to network with those different streamers. And the fun thing about Stardew Valley is it's a very, very wholesome community, in the sense that if you have an idea and you run with it, somebody else can copy it or do something similar and it's okay. Like, I'm not saying that I copied somebody's work. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you get inspiration from each other. So like when people come onto my channel and they're like, I love that idea, I'm like, go ahead, steal it, do it. And that, I think that's a big part of how my growth happened so quickly, is that I got to know all these people, and I didn't just get to know them through my stream. I got to know them through other streams. So like, for example, tFay, I met you through Jess. Jess I met through a stream team that I used to be a part of. And so it's partial networking, but at the same time, it's not just networking. You're getting to know these people as friends, right? And they're people that you value, and you need to find a spot on Twitch where you enjoy hanging out and people enjoy your company as well. So I feel like a lot of what I did on Twitch was basically get to know people and figure out where I like to spend my time. So I think that definitely helped with growth. And what I see a lot of smaller streamers struggle with is who to raid. So for me, that was really important. My About Me page was really important. My channel redemptions were really important. And who I raid was very important. So what I used to do is, after I finished streaming, I would do two things. First of all, I have this crazy Excel sheet that I use so that I can kind of go visit people and know when I rated them, what date I rated them. So like, if you ask me, have you rated this person before? I could actually search through my Excel sheet and tell you, yes, I rated them on this date. And it was actually a really good exercise because I was able to kind of measure who was rating me and who I was rating. And then I would go back and see why they rated me, because there's always a reason. Why did they rate me? And then you got to know people. Oh goodness. And I think that's a big part of being on Twitch, is you're not just streaming. I would say 70% of what I do and how I get people to find my channel, I do off stream. And that doesn't mean going into somebody's stream and being like, hi, I stream. You'd never do that. That is a way to kill your stream. What you do is you get to know people. Get to know them, figure out what they like to game, comment when they come into your chat. Hey, I saw Jess. Jess is an amazing streamer. She was doing this cool thing on Animal Crossing. Like, you should go check her out. Like, and make sure that it's genuine. There's so many streamers that I've met on Twitch that are not genuine. And I say that in the nicest way possible. Just be yourself on Twitch and people will find you and come to love you. So I think for me, that was a big part of why I grew on Twitch. Like, I don't know if it's actually a thing, but for me, it was really important to get to know people. And I didn't focus on the money. I didn't focus on anything. I was legit just focusing on what am I putting out there? I'm watching my VODs. What are other people putting out there? What do they like? How can I connect with them? And it just went from there. So I honestly think part of it is luck, but a lot of it is actually getting to know people and being genuine in yourself.
No, I think that's definitely. I think that. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Nowhere. I don't even know.
I had a dream that people could play out of
I feel you asked me to speak. I spoke.
Yeah. Jeez. No, that's a good point. I think I usually tell people the two ways to do it is stream more. That's just pure pure numbers game. The more you stream, the more likely it is for someone that's like looking around for a new streamer, it is for them to find you. Like, if you're streaming more people are going to find you. That's how it goes. You can get lucky. Obviously, some people don't stream as much as like tFay does 40 hours a week. And find great success. But those are the exceptions. The rule, I would say, is just stream more. That it's a pure numbers game. And then, like you said, it's when you talk to people, make people people are more likely to come find you if they know you and they like you. Surprise, off stream, because I found, since I've stopped visiting other Discords and going around, I've seen a decay in my growth. Which also, I don't stream as much either. So that's the tough thing. Since last year I streamed a lot. This year I don't as much. I've seen the discount, but that goes back to finding a reason. Why do you stream? If you're doing it for growth, then you're gonna have to put the hours in. If you're just streaming to have fun, which I highly recommend, then it's not going to matter as much. You just have fun.
Yeah, and I think it's important to be clear about when you're streaming and what you're streaming. Like just putting on Twitter or Discord, I'm going live, doesn't tell your viewers anything. Like what are we expecting? Like for me in my case, like obviously, I'm gonna stream Stardew, but what am I gonna do in Stardew and how can I engage people? So I started putting like these really cheesy titles, and it kind of became my thing because it bothers me that nobody reads the titles. And then people are like, what year are you in? I'm like, it's in my title. Like, I won't say that to a viewer. Never. You would never say that to a viewer, but like, just let people know what you're doing.
You can on the podcast. Read the goddamn title. There you go. I'll say it for you.
It's important to know for your viewers. Like, I know we were talking before the podcast, and both Jess and I were saying how important a schedule is. Like, I can't stress that enough. And if you don't have a schedule, at least like have one day where you can be consistent and let your viewers know about it. I think that's really important.
One thing, I don't know how directly is it came across in Lee's "I Had a Dream" speech that you can do if your goal for raid strategizing. I don't know if anyone else does this. I don't do this myself. As we all know, I basically look for who in my stream, like who in my community has the least viewers, and we just basically raid them. That's basically my raid logic. But if your goal is to grow, strategy would be you basically ideally always stream the same game, like Lee does, and then find other people who are streaming that game and make sure their regular hours are not when you stream, and then raid them a lot. Because
which is kind of like, yeah, it's kind of hard though, because you got overlapping hours obviously at some point if you're able to raid them.
Yeah, so like objectively, me and Boss have like we overlap our streams all the time. So people, some people may hide both, but odds are that each viewer is gonna favor one versus the other. I'm not saying who to favorite, nor do I care who you favor. My point is like, now imagine if people like if I was also a Stardew streamer and Lee was a Stardew streamer, and I was always streaming the 3 hours before Lichat streams. Then people could, I could watch Stardew before Lee stream, and then when Lee streams, and then that's the entire day of Stardew. And I found that people are more willing to like actually look like to watch the streamers who get shouted out if they're playing that game that they want to see. But that also requires you to be consistent in what you're playing, which most streamers don't do. Cough, cough, Animal Crossing, cough, cough.
We haven't heard from Boss Jess in a while, and I'm kind of curious to know how Boss Jess decides who she's gonna raid.
I look to see who's on, and actually my raid strategy is fairly similar to tFay's actually, as I will go to the very bottom of my list, see who has the lower numbers, and I will bring my people to them majority of the time. And unless there's someone who has not been streaming in a while, who like, let's go give them like a welcome back. Someone playing a new game, like for instance, we raided Kilana the other day because she was doing Minecraft for the first time, and I saw on Twitter she was very nervous about it. So we raided her to give her some hype and some love for trying a new game outside of Animal Crossing. And if people are doing a charity stream, that will go to them first. If someone's having a birthday, we'll go to them. So if there's no one doing like some kind of special, unique event, then usually I just see who can we go pass some love on to and help hopefully get them a few new viewers.
Yeah. Also, don't be afraid to raid someone, even if you don't think your viewers want to watch them. Not saying raid assholes. Don't raid assholes. But like, if I want to raid someone and then like my people go, oh, I'm not gonna watch them. I'm like, okay, well I'm gonna raid them anyway. Fuck you. Because odds are like, you can say, oh, we're gonna raid someone I know you're gonna watch, but like if they know they're alive, they're probably gonna go watch them anyway. You don't need to raid them to like get them to watch them. You gotta try to get your lurkers to go to someplace else against their will, and then when they go back to their computer and they see someone else on, they're like, let me look at them for about 5 seconds to see if I want to keep watching before closing Twitch.
Yeah,
I
well,
hate
that's a
tFay, but
good.
I think a lot of your lurkers. Oh, it's no longer tFay. I'm out. I
But
hate
like
to say
it really depends. Like for me as a viewer, when somebody goes ahead and raid, I usually like to listen in for a few minutes, see how I feel about them, see if they're playing a game or games that I enjoy. And even if they're not playing a game that I enjoy, do I enjoy them as a person? Like what how can you make me like you? Do I want to stay? Why would I follow you? Give me a reason. I'm really, really critical, but I mean like if I'm gonna drop a follow, I want it to mean something. And like I don't like the follow for follow, idea. Like I wanna follow someone because I like their content. So
that.
That
Okay,
makes sense.
so then okay, as a viewer standpoint, what makes you follow someone?
basically, do I like them? Do I like them as a person? Are they interacting with their chat is a big one for me. I like a streamer that interacts with their chat. If they're just ignoring chat, unless they have over 2K viewers or something in their channel, like it's nice to be able to have a discussion. Like I want to go into a place that's welcoming. And I'm sure a lot of people feel the same.
How about you, Jess? What because you watch people on Twitch, you said. What makes you follow someone?
Usually I'd say typically it's they're playing a game that I'm interested in seeing. If I'm coming in because of a raid, I will usually like check more about their personality in general. But I mean, there's exceptions to both of those rules for me. Like for instance, especially in the early days, some of my closest streamer people that I hang out with outside of our little group that we all know together, um I have people who play WoW and people who play Sea of Thieves, games that I have no interest in playing. But I like the person enough, so I'll actually go in there and chat with them about whatever and just like they have a good vibe where I lurk on their stream, that kind of thing. So it really for me it depends on the person. They're either playing something that I'm very interested in or I find their personality good. Whether I do tend to lean to as well if they interact with chat. Like I've rated people before where if it's taken them more than 2 minutes to notice the fact that I've even rated them, I'm probably not going to follow them. Had that happen a few times.
Yeah, that's
I get so angry when that happens.
I apologize to my viewers once when that happened. I just like I I happened to have a lot of people in chat, and I was like, okay, a rate of like 30 people. This is really cool. This is gonna be really exciting. Rated, nothing from the person.
I mean, I'm not
I'm
gonna
like,
say.
like nothing. Okay.
So you remember? I'm not gonna say who it was, even though they probably wouldn't care if I did. I was co-streaming with them. Then someone came into my stream and said, "Hey, can you tell your friend? Can you tell the other person I rated them with a huge rate?"
Oh goodness.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh my gosh.
That's
so
so
funny.
laughing.
It was so funny. It was so funny because like this isn't like just random person, right? They knew the rate. They just weren't looking at their chat. And their alert was super loud, and I just found it hysterical. But I don't know. But like I was thinking of, what makes me follow people as Boston and Lee were answering. I'm like, I don't really know because I very rarely, and pretty much just for Boss's stream, am in the stream when they raid someone. I am almost always never around. And usually when I follow people, it's when they show up into my chat, and they basically do the taboo and say that they stream because I personally want that. That's just the nature of my community. I know that's basically taboo everywhere else, but like I just like tell people like, all right, everyone who just came with the raid, do you stream? Let me know so I could follow you. And then if they ever show up again, then I just basically know to keep that in mind and then like check out their streams later. Or if they don't show up again, then they're one of the 1,000 people that I have in my feed right now who are alive. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I don't really care.
That's fair. Yeah.
To be honest, I don't even remember why I followed you, tFay, but I love you. I'm just teasing.
I think
no, I definitely met you through Jess. I'm pretty sure Jess raided you, and then I followed.
Pretty sure you followed me. Like a lot of people like I do get a lot of the like I have the very energetic raid response. A lot of people raid me because of the high positivity when that happens. Other people raid me because they see me on Boss's stream and like how I make fun of her. I wish I was
True.
joking. That's not a joke.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure one of the first things I saw you stream was Frogger too, and you looked miserable. And I
God.
think that's why you
Yeah.
got my follow. I'm not gonna lie. I think I followed
Pretty
you
sure
because
we
you
raided
looked
that
miserable
day.
and you were getting upset.
Yep.
Oh,
Pretty
Frogger.
sure that must have been one of my raids.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Oh.
That's
Oh,
amazing.
my brain. My brain.
I mean,
Frogger.
it was a fun game. It's funny to watch you play it. I enjoyed it, but watching tFay be miserable is just kind of like that's like a side fun project for me.
All right,
Oh
so
my gosh.
this was something from the live chat. Like, what are your thoughts on how much like so? I mean, Noctis technically is in my Discord, but you know, our guests here both run their own Discords, and from what I can tell, they are successful Discords, as in people talk in them. They are not dead. And how do you like? What are your thoughts on the most controversial thing when it comes to Discords? How often you ping everybody?
Ooh.
Because that's usually what will make someone like that's a deciding factor on when someone's going to start muting your Discord. Is how often they get pinged.
Honestly, that is very true. I've definitely muted Discords because I've gotten like 7 messages a day from a Discord, and I'm just like, no.
Yeah, I think if you're pinging people, have a reason to ping people. Like, hey, I'm going live. If it's just like a general topic of something and it doesn't really require pinging everyone, don't ping everyone. That's just unnecessary in my opinion. And it does annoy me in other chats, but like I do like the going live notifications in Discords. And I like how Jess actually has her Discord set up, and I should definitely learn from you, Jess, where you have different sections of, hey, I want to hear about these topics, and you can kind of click a button and then you can see kind of what chats you're interested in, as opposed to, you know, like if you don't want to hear about Pokemon, you don't have to get pinged about Pokemon, you know?
So sorry, I need 1 sec. I just need to mute T-Phase Discord real quick because he just pinged me like 12 times in it.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
Yeah, that was waiting. That's like this. Jess has to see that popping up, right?
Oh, it's popping up at the corner of my computer. It's just bing, 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 bing.
Yeah. Oh
yeah. No.
And honestly, it's that's the reason I have my Discord set up the way I do, is because I know we have a ton of channels. Like, God bless my mods, because I just have to see every single one of those channels. But we have a ton of channels, but that's because people come to me saying, hey, I want to, even if there's just 3 people in the channel, they want to talk about blah blah blah. And so I'm like, okay, well, we're going to put it as an option. If anyone who wants to be part of it, that's fine. They can be a part of it. So like I have a channel for oh my goodness, for Vocaloid, because I have a mod specifically who is very into Vocaloid styles of music and that kind of thing. And so we have a channel specifically for that. It's not one of my largest channels in my Discord, but it's somewhere for people to post something that they enjoy. And so that's why I've created it the way that I've done, because I want it to be inviting, and I want people to find places to talk about what they want to talk about.
That's yeah. I was looking through your Discord, looking at all the different channels, and I forgot that you had a beer channel. Even though I think you made that a couple days after you were invited to the one in Luna, right?
Yes, I think I made it around the same time, and I was just like, yeah, we have the 2 beer channels. I was like, a beer channel would be good, and it's one of my most popular channels.
Which is amazing, like, and it all depends on your audience, obviously, and the people in your chat. Okay, here's a question for you guys. How do you guys get people to come from your chat to your Discord? Do you just let them come in naturally, like have a link below your channel in your About Me section? Or do you constantly talk about it in your chat to kind of encourage people to come in?
For me, it depends on the situation. So I have it below my Discord, and I have a reminder that pops up every once in a while in my chat. And then eventually, sometimes it just naturally comes up with conversation. Someone says, "Oh, I'm good. Oh, I got this cute picture of my cat. I'm going to put it in the Discord." So it comes up that way, and some people will be like, "Oh, I want to see it," and they'll join it in that way. I've seen also if like we're doing events, we'll do a movie night or something like that in the Discord, and I'll post that, or we'll do happy hours. Happy hours have been very popular the last couple months, where we just sit in a voice chat and chat for an hour and a half, 2 hours while some of us cook dinner and things. And so I'll like mention those a couple times, and if people want to join us for those, that's how they join it. But usually I feel like it's pretty natural the way they join.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of the same. For my Discord has actually been not super like activity heavy for a while, but I have the same as Jess, where I have notifications that pop up in my stream every once in a while. I recently made it a specific Stardew Valley section, where I have stuff that people can actually use, like a tips and tricks section of things that you might want to look up, like where to place your sprinklers or do different things in the game, or little tips that you might not know. And people have actually been using it, and they like it. I also recently started a community farm when I learned you could have more than 4 people on a file. So we now have a file with, what could be up to 40 houses on it, where we once in a while have an evening where I basically turn on the community farm and I say, "Hey, I'm on the farm. If anybody wants to come, you're more than welcome to." And it's been going really well. People want to participate. We take pictures. We troll each other. We throw bear statues around. Just basically something to get people talking or interacting with, as opposed to just joining another Discord. I think is, it's good. It's good to have topics that interest people. And the only section that I was always not sure about, I love my promote myself section, but I wanted to know what your opinion was, like everybody here, what your opinion was on promote yourself channels. Do you find that people are using them the way they should be using them? Do you find that promoting yourself in other Discords is useful? I'm always curious to know people's thoughts on that. So, yeah.
So I personally love promote channels, because at least for me, that's the only way I know people are live. So I don't have to have like notifications to my phone. I can just leave those off, and then I could, if I wanted to see who's live, I can just look in my promote myself channel, and it's a lot faster. Now, as for how people use them, I would argue that they don't use them correctly a lot of time for most people. Like, a lot of people just say that they're live. They don't say what game they're playing. They don't put any kind of witty clickbait to try to get you to click on their link. Like, there has to be something to make me want to click on your link. I'm speaking from someone who's not running the channel, like who doesn't need it. If I'm just, why do people post on promote channels? They want random other people in the Discord to go see them when they're live. So then, why do people want to click on your link? Whether it be that, like, I'm trying to, it's like YouTube videos. It's like, whether it be the thumbnail or the title, you got to give something that'll make people click on it. And I find a lot of people don't do that. I also feel like people weirdly, they say, "I'm going to be live like at," and then they put a time zone time. And then I'm like, that people don't know when that is, right? Or people don't post their links, or people post the wrong link, or people.
Yeah,
I can go on and on about that.
Me, it's the mobile link. I can't do the mobile link. When people post that, I'm like, why bother?
Yeah,
like it's horrible for me to say it, but like, don't put m.twitch.tv. Just don't do it, guys.
I also
see. I don't care for self promote channels, because I think you're if you're gonna be in a channel in a Discord, just to post that you're going live, you're not really giving anyone a reason to care. Like, I hate to say it, if I join someone's Discord, it's usually for that person alone, not for other people that are going to post there. But however, if I see the name of someone I recognize from that community, like let's say someone from the Luna community, that is always in Discord, always talking. I've talked to. Let's say they're in the beer channel, they're in the music channel, they're recommending music all the
I
time.
love how you say the beer
Like-
channel. Most people don't even know that channel exists.
Yeah, but it's secret. That's how I'm letting people know. Point is, like that you need to give people a reason to come follow you. That's going to be a lot more effective than just randomly posting your link in 10 different Discords. Like for me personally, that as a viewer, I'm not going to follow. I'm not going to go watch someone that I don't recognize the name of. 9 times out of 10.
What about you, boss?
In mine personally, I actually use it quite a bit. And especially over the last month when I haven't been streaming very much, there's several people who have been part of my community who have either recently started streaming or have started streaming more often, and seeing them post that in there has allowed me, again, if I recognize the name, with my community itself, I recognize all the names that are posting in it. And so I've just in the last week, 2 different people whose streams I've gone to because they posted they were live in my Discord, and
that's
I
what I was
hadn't
gonna
followed
ask.
them yet.
Because I'm sure you're in other people's Discord. Pick a random streamer. How often do you go to a name you do not recognize in someone else's Discord?
Oh, I barely go to other people's Discords, unfortunately.
Can
I'm-
confirm boss is never in my Discord.
I
Sure.
I would say I legitimately have to force myself to remember to go into mine several times a day. I'm
Also
really bad.
I can confirm boss does not check her own Discord.
I think yes.
It's something that I'm working on, and it's definitely something that I've gotten. I feel like I've gotten better at.
Have you noticed lately, tFay, she's been like ignoring Discord or something?
I literally
I don't know. I can't put my finger
use
on
her
why.
Discord. I do not use her Discord outside of to post things in the mod channel, and I'm still there more than boss is.
The last month has just been a little busy, but I feel like I'm trying to get better.
It's almost like you got married or something.
Yeah, it's like you got
It's just-
married and something.
It's just I can't imagine what it is. I don't know.
No. If she got married, I would have been invited to the wedding. There's no way. There's no way. I wouldn't
That's
have been
true.
invited to the
She
wedding.
wouldn't have not invited you.
Yeah,
I can't
that'd be so
imagine
rude.
not wanting you at her wedding reception, calling her boss the entire time.
She's
And
probably
now-
terrified of you meeting her parents, let's be honest.
That
Okay,
well,
well,
you,
first of
thank,
all,
thank
all right.
God you said that because I
Just
wanted to, but it
because
sounded
I was
mean.
invited, just because someone's invited to the wedding, that does not mean they're meeting the parents. I have been to a bunch of weddings where I do not meet the parents. I've been to a bunch of weddings where I'm just there, and then I don't I just associate with other guests, and then the person who invited me, ideally, and then I just go home. I don't meet their family and stuff like that.
I've met so many people's parents at friggin' wedding. Like maybe
I never meet the
this
parents
tells me
at
that
weddings.
tFay hasn't been to that many weddings. Literally,
Yeah.
my father. We rounded the tables after we ate dinner.
Well,
we
you
went
know,
to
boss,
every table and talked to everyone.
Maybe if
and
you
then my
invited
freaking
me to
father
your
did
wedding,
it.
maybe
Yeah.
if you invited me to your wedding, boss, I could, I'd be able to meet more parents. You see how this works out.
Super okay.
But I'm sure you can, since you just got done getting married, your dad was probably really involved in it. Help setting up chairs, help setting up tables, table decor, whatever. Every wedding I've ever been to, the parents are almost always doing stuff there. You just can't help but run into the parents of either the bride or groom.
Yeah, no. I think I've been. I don't know how many is a lot of weddings, to be fair, but of the weddings I've been to, trying to remember how many that has been, I never meet the parents.
Maybe New York weddings are different.
I wish
Jess
my weddings were in
is
New
my
York.
guess. That's the only thing I could guess is that it's different because here, like I said, whenever you're setting up the reception, the parents and especially the dad of the bride, it seems, is running around doing stuff. That's personal, but I've also DJ'd weddings, so I mean, I guess I've seen more than a normal share of weddings.
I had to tell my dad to stop doing stuff. He's here earlier in the week, and he's pulling weeds out of my backyard. I'm like, what are you doing? Stop it!
I need that weed for later.
Wow.
You had this really tall weed behind your bush. He's like crawling behind my bushes trying to get this weed out. It was bothering me. Why is
Confirm
it
boss
bothering
wants to
you?
keep
No
her
one's gonna
weed.
be over there.
Okay. First of all, I can definitely see you doing that to someone else. Like
What,
100%.
telling him what to do?
No, I could see boss like being over at someone's house and she sees something that needs fixing. It's like, all right, hold up. I got to go fix this real quick.
Oh, I absolutely will. I'm not saying I'm not exactly like my father, but I mean, doesn't mean I'm going to yell at him for doing it.
Could you
Meanwhile-
give me your jacket so I can kneel on it in the dirt so I can get behind this bush and pull a weed? I enjoy this. I'm enjoying this picture in my head of Jess. That's awesome.
I'm starting to imagine like weed boss, like art. God, it's just so weird. But then again, I also came up with Bashin Lichat thing.
Oh goodness.
Hey, I just assumed that Lee was gonna give me a Bashin, and I said as a joke, "Would you want me to fuse a Bashin and a Lichat?" And Lee said, "Go for it."
Yeah,
I think the sunglasses are my favorite.
Yeah, like honestly, he's like, I need you to send me a picture for the podcast. And I was like on my mobile phone in a hotel room, not at home, and I was like, I don't know what to give you, but if you could wait till tomorrow is what I was going to say. And then you're like, you better tell me something or I'm gonna fuse a Pusheen with a licky tongue. I said, go for it. And then 2 minutes later, there was a licky tongue emote with the Pusheen.
And I'm glad you like the glasses. I actually put thought into what Pusheen I fused with the Lichat. I didn't just pick one. I was actually looking through them, both the Pusheens and the Lichat, to choose my images.
So, on the topic of creating different things for your channel, how did you guys come up with your emotes? Like, what was the thought process behind picking your emotes?
Ooh.
That's well, all right. So that, I mean, I've said this before, but it started off with me picking my OC, and I picked my OC by literally paying 7 Fiverr artists to make me an OC with very little context because I didn't know what I want. All I told them is that I wanted something to do with the moon, and I wanted something to they wanted to be like a merchant, because at the time I was very big into the merchant, like networking merchant, Nukazan shit in Animal Crossing. And of those, I ended up picking Sukino, and then I just literally saw a friend of mine. I said, I love your art emotes. Give me your emote artist. And then I told them, all right, I want these emotes. And then they gave me a bunch of them. And then over time, I thought more about what emotes that I want, and I kept buying more emotes. And then I apparently semi-bought to everyone else.
Yeah, I think coming up with an OC is one of the most common things people do for coming up for their emotes. My emotes are based around an OC. I was in another streamer's chat, and they were playing XCOM, and they named a robot after me. And I loved it to the point where that was my name, was Noctobot, and it grew out of there. So when I first started making emotes, I went to different artists, because when I first started, I was very active in other people's chats, and a lot of them were artists. I said, would you make me an emote? Would you make me an emote? So I had 5 emotes made by 5 different artists, and I love them all, and I still love them all, but it creates a very inconsistent look in your emotes, to be honest. So now I have one dedicated artist that I use. So
Who's
how about
not
you?
boss.
How about you, Jess? Say what?
Who's not boss?
Who is not boss? So
you don't want me to make you artwork. That just would be awful. You don't want that.
So
a
how
bunch
did
of
you
stick
pick your
figures.
how did you pick your emotes, Jess?
Before boss answers, I want to add the disclaimer that boss started her emote journey by complaining to me that she didn't want anime emotes, and I had to reassure her that it is possible to have emotes that aren't anime characters.
This
It
is actually
Yeah.
This is actually a conversation that I had.
So it was very early because it was a couple weeks after I'd started looking into it right before I was about to hit affiliate. And being me, I can't just be like, oh, I'm going to pick a couple pieces. I'm going to go scroll on this site and pick someone, and that's going to be it. No, I have to do 7 hours of research because that's just what I do. So I spent about 4 or 5 hours one afternoon scrolling through artists on Fiverr because I didn't know enough artists at the time in communities to have someone do the artwork that I wanted, because I did not want an anime style. I was definitely looking for more Pixar, like cartoon type style. I knew what I wanted my brand to be. So I'd spent about 4 or 5 hours one afternoon going through all the artists on Fiverr and found a few with an art style that I wanted, and then put into one that I could fit within my price range. And the artwork just came back. Was a great artist. He's literally the only one I use. He's done everything. My overlays, he's done all of my emotes, all of my panels on the bottom of my screen. And it's just, all I said was I wanted scrapbook style, a lot of travel themes, and a lot of my emotes are up related, since travel and up are kind of my things. And he got that real Pixar look. I mean, even with my little logo that I have here, it's got that very like cute, artsy Pixar kind of deal. And so that's like, I walked in knowing what I wanted and just had to find someone that could present that.
Okay, so I don't know if anyone can explain to this. I like legitimately want to rant right now just when I hear Fiverr. Could someone explain to me why 90% of Fiverr artists use the very same art style that I feel like they're all just ripping off of like a generator or something like that? Like, literally, go on Fiverr right now if you don't know what I'm talking about. Look up emotes and then just look at the 1,000 artists that have the same exact style. And
No,
I just don't know how this all. Where do they all get the same style from?
But if you want an OC, if you want your character to pop, they've got to have some very similar things. Like, they got to have a big head, so that it helps distinguish it as a character. They have to have big eyes, because eyes are super expressive and one of the first things that you look at when you look for a face. And then you branch out from there. Like, you're gonna get mostly these kawaii
I cannot
artists.
Yeah, I'm not mad about the kawaii artists. So that's not what I'm talking about. All right, there's a very particular style to the point that I couldn't. If I got 10 different artists and line them all up, I could not tell them apart. I just assume it's all the same artist. Like, because there's like this, but I don't even know how to describe the style. Like, you have to look a lot in Fiverr to know what I'm talking about. It's very particular style. And this also applies to like overlays too. Like, everyone has the same style of making overlays. And I just like rant because, like, you know, Boston's like, I spent 7 hours to Fiverr. And as someone who also has spent like 7 hours to Fiverr, I feel like a lot of that time is just trying to get past all of the artists that look the same.
Oh, I definitely went into a couple hundreds of the overlays and things like that to find my person. He was well hidden.
Yeah, but also, like, Fiverr pushes like several art. They have like 10 artists that they push constantly. If I was gonna start making art on Fiverr, you damn right I'm gonna be copying who's the most popular. What makes their emotes so popular? Like,
I
just
don't know,
start there.
I hate the art style. It's like, I don't even get it. I don't know. Maybe I have bad taste. I just like, why is this? All right, I don't disagree with you a lot. But then I want to ask, why on earth is that the most popular one?
To me, that's the better question. Why is it specifically that style? My guess is like 2 or 3 of them started and got very popular.
Like,
I'm guessing before Twitch like blew up, because the amount of people that will make you emotes on Fiverr is amazing. There are thousands of artists on there that specifically do art and emotes for Twitch. That's fascinating by itself to me. I wouldn't think that it's that big, but if you're once you become an affiliate and you gain access to your emote slots, most people aren't gonna do it themselves. They want it to look nice. So where do you go? You go find a cheap website where someone will make the art for you. And I think the other thing is, once you get a certain pattern, I think they just copy and paste it. Okay, so the person wants a red hair OC. The other person wanted a blonde. You can use the same face, same hair, just change the hair color. Oh, they're a furry. They want some. They have a fursona. So you just add a couple ears onto it and give them like a blue hue to make them kind of wolf-like. There you go. There's your OC. It's a copy paste.
And
And
it
now you
literally
have
just sounds like you're describing Wolfie Chew. I don't know if you even know who that is. But
No,
they're literally they have a persona who's a wolf and it's blue, and I'm like, why are you describing this literal character right now?
It's funny. I was when I initially said it, I was thinking of Fiend. I was thinking of her little blue dragon character. But when I said Fursona, it also brought Wolf to mind because it feels like it's the most popular. I don't know, man. I'm just talking. All right, We'll go.
Lee, do you ever buy stuff off Fiverr? You ever use Fiverr?
I'll be honest. I've never even opened the site. For me, I will say when I got affiliated, I was not ready for it because I didn't think it was going to happen as fast as it did, and I don't know why I didn't think any of this through. So I was actually panicking the day before my stream to come up with something, and then all of a sudden, one of my friends just sent me something, and she's like, "Here, use this," and it was just a little plant, and it kind of became a thing. But yeah, I had no idea what I was doing. I was so stressed out about everything. My best friend drew me some emotes, and that's kind of how I got started. And then I finally buckled down, figured out what art style I liked, and then I reached out to somebody. But it took me 3 months to get my emotes.
No, I don't think that's completely uncommon.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think
No.
that there is a terrible. I want to say terrible. I feel like this is too strong a word. There is a unhealthy mindset for new affiliates that they are required by law to have emotes and sub badges and everything right when they're affiliate, to the point that people are like, I can't be affiliate yet, I don't have emotes ready. I'm like,
yeah,
huh? They're like, I have to have emotes before I go become affiliate. I'm like, huh? They're like, I need I need to fill every emote slot. I'm like, are you planning on having someone gift bomb you with 50 subs right away? They're like, no. I'm like, then why do you need all those emotes?
You only need 3 emotes to start off, right? And then you gain the other 2 with 50 subs.
And then you have your bit emotes, even though most people forget that those exist.
So, did you have any emotes before your current ones, tFay? Because like my first emote, I don't use anymore. It was a Nightwing drawn by an artist on Fiverr. You get what you pay for. $5 did not get me a great emote.
I don't remember what came first between me getting emotes and me becoming affiliate. I think I got my emotes after. See, it's a weird blur for me because I became affiliate in the days of where it takes over a month to get an emote approved. So I don't remember. It was very natural for people back then to say I'm affiliate and I don't have emotes. Because no matter when you got affiliate, you're never going to have your emotes ready. Because you could pop them into Twitch and they're just going to say, let me think about it for a while. So I don't remember.
Honestly, that's one of my favorite things about Luna as a Discord is having access to an artist channel. Because you can find it's so much, it's more fulfilling to ask an artist draw you something.
Oh my gosh, I know.
As opposed to like Fiverr where you're meeting him for the first time, it's just a job for him. Like you get one revision is what they say.
I love having my art done from people in the community.
Yeah, no, that's honestly one of my favorite. Like I said, I had 5 different artists make 5 different emotes. And I don't recommend it for one, because they were done at different rates. One I had to wait almost 3 months for, as opposed to another one was banged out in like 15 minutes. And it's I would also say if you're a new streamer and you're worried about emotes, don't stress about it and ask other streamers that you like where they got their emotes done. And just ask in chat, does anyone know of any artists that do great emotes? You can ask on Twitter. You don't need to stress about it. I feel that way about a lot of Twitch things. Just don't stress about it, because it does. In the end, emotes aren't gonna make or break your channel. They can help your channel a lot, but
unless you're whiskey.
Yeah, I mean,
whiskey definitely.
Yeah, whiskey's different. I subbed to whiskey just for her emotes. I've never watched her stream.
I stand by. I agree with you, Noctis. Though one thing, well, I guess Lee necessarily doesn't. I don't know how well Lee could answer this because Lee just had a friend apparently make all of her emotes. But Boss could.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I have like 4 different friends that made emotes, and then I have one person that I commissioned.
All right. Well, maybe you can answer. I mean, you're free to answer it if you have an opinion on it. But Boss, this more directly relates to Boss, who, like me, has like dedicated people for things. At least, so for anyone who hasn't heard before, I am very loyal to my emote artist. To the point where I only, even no matter what emotes I throw on my Discord, none of them are going to see that. Like, none of them get uploaded as official emotes on Twitch unless they're by my emote artist. And if my emote artist ever decides to retire, then I'm never getting more emotes done. And I'm just curious if any of you guys, like, I can't really say ask Noctis because he just had a speech about how he has like 6 emote artists. But for Lee and Boss,
not anymore. I have one emote artist.
So like, all right, so maybe you can answer this too. Like, is there ever going to be a scenario or a point or reason where you'd say, hey, I want to throw away all of my, get rid of all these emotes, and I want to have an entirely new set of emotes made by a completely new artist for whatever reason?
I mean, that's absolutely something that could happen in the future. I mean, I specifically with the emotes that I have right now, I've been looking, I have ones that are like up characters and things like that, and I've absolutely thought about getting new emotes made in relation to like moving away from up characters and things that could get me in trouble with Disney and moving more towards like creating more characters of Jeffrey or something like that, more on-channel brand type things. But if I will use my artist as long as humanly possible because it's kind of my look, it's my brand. Like I feel like if I needed to switch artists, I'd probably end up switching the look of my brand as a whole then.
Yeah, like that's a good point of like you said you're worried about copyright. Is if you have an OC done by an artist that has given you commercial rights, you can do whatever the hell you want with them. You can make stickers, you can make t-shirts, blah blah blah. As opposed to an OC versus a trademarked character. But at the same time, Whiskey, who we just mentioned, her entire emote set is based around Pokemon, and apparently she does very, very well for people. Just for getting people, because her emotes are so cute that it makes you want to sub to her. I don't know. If I was to get rid of my let's say maybe if I became partner and the person, my artist, said I don't want to do 30 different emotes, then maybe at that point I would consider just finding a new artist and paying for it, which I imagine would get very expensive very fast, but it may be worth it if something big like that happened. That's the only reason I can see. How about you? So if you hit partner, you have enough emotes right now. Never mind, tFay, you have enough. You have enough emotes anyway. That was a dumb question.
The laugh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No.
I'm the wrong person. Though I will admit, for the first time in forever, I am actually commissioning a singular emote for the follower emote slot. I'm not going to say what it is. But just kidding. I am getting one commissioned specifically for the follower emote slot when that ever becomes like everybody has it.
So I think I may have just gotten beta for that. I just saw that.
Yeah, everybody either gets the follower emote or the library of emotes. Because I got the library, but that's useless to me because I have instant upload. So I basically got jack shit.
Yeah, I got the library as well.
The library is useful for kind of moving stuff around.
The library is useful if you don't have instant upload. Because
Yeah, once you have instant
upload is
upload, you
literally
don't really
the
need the
library.
library.
That's a good point because like I remember when I first got my first set of emotes from my artist, I had the dumb idea of like getting rid of all of my emotes or moving them to a different slot. And I remember having to upload each one individually and then we had no emotes for that stream and I felt like crap. I was like, sorry guys, can't spam anything today. So everybody was just playing with the wording instead of having the emotes. So they were nice about it, but I felt really bad about it.
So,
Yeah.
like for other artwork for your channel, let's say the sub, like the people, I'm not sure
Bit badges, sub
the
badges.
the sub badges. Thank you. So the sub badges, stuff like that. Do you guys have the same artist that does your emotes? Do those for you?
Mine is
No,
yes.
not me.
I mean, you know I don't.
Yeah,
But for the sake of the
I'm aware of. I'm
podcast,
asking the two guys.
for the sake of the
But
podcast,
like
I
it,
will add that I don't.
well, what I was gonna say is, it's extremely pricey to get a product that you really want. Like, unless you know somebody, you're probably going to be paying for emotes, and depending on how much you're willing to spend and how much you care about it, that can kind of influence things. So for me, the actual emotes that people are spamming on Twitch are a little bit more important than the sub badge, for example. And it's not that the sub badge isn't important, it's just it's not as important as something that's going to get spammed on Twitch. I do eventually want to get something new, but for now it's doing the job, right?
So, do you have for your current sub badges? Did you make them yourself?
No, I went on Etsy.
Lee,
Actually.
when we realized Lee didn't answer the question.
Oh,
Yeah,
was it for me? Well, that's awkward.
He asked if you had the same artist, and you're like, I don't like my sub badges, but maybe one day I'll get new ones. It's like, well, wasn't asking if you like them, Lee.
Alright. So
Sorry.
okay, but Jess, you do have your art. The same artist does your sub badges for you.
Yeah, my artist did everything. My sub badges, all of my emotes, my overlays, everything has been by the same person.
Damn. So if that person retired,
Go ahead,
so
Noctis.
I was gonna say, if you hit partner, would you have them fill out the rest of your emote slots? Then
Probably, yeah, that's probably who I would go with because again, I like the idea of them all being similar, being on brand, and that's having had businesses prior to streaming, travel agency business and things like that. I have a lot of like social media brand image kind of things in my head, so that's something I want to make sure stays consistent throughout.
the reason I keep asking about partners because, as Lee can attest, you have 30 emote slots, right?
You get, well, depending on how many subs you have accumulated over time, you will have up to a maximum of 50 tier 1 emote slots.
Okay, because I so if you have 50 emote slots, how many like the average person, not tFay here, the average like affiliate streamer, I don't think I have 10 emotes.
It might
to
be
be
60.
honest. So let's say I had the amount to get up to that number. I have to ask. I would need. I have to have the artist do 40 emote slots to fill
It would
those.
that would
Would be
definitely be
insane.
a work in progress. I mean, I started off with only about 2 emotes and then slowly started adding more and more as we thought of what to make emotes with. And I've actually started creating a list and chatting with the community as like, okay, what do you want to see as emotes? And I have a list that, all right, when I have a little extra money set aside, I can go get a few of these made so that eventually they will fill in. Like I actually just hit a new tier for Bits Badge emotes. And I don't have an emote for that slot yet. So that's something that will be eventually created. It's kind of a work in progress. So that's something, no, it's not like I hit partner tomorrow, I'm going to be getting 40 emotes commission the next day. Definitely not going to work that way.
But how long, like, your artist obviously probably has other jobs besides just you. Like, how long would it take them to do 40? The artist I work with is pretty quick and can churn out like an emote in a day, but that's still over a month working on it every day.
My
I'm just
emote
imagining how long
artist,
it would
my
take to
emote
fill it out.
artist did
Oh, it would
over
definitely
20
take a
emotes
couple
in less.
months.
My emote artist did over 20 in less than a week. My emote artist is insane.
Well, yeah.
Part of why I like her. It's just whatever I want is just get it like done immediately. But speaking of sub badges specific, one thing I don't know if anyone else has this weird pet peeve. I get so annoyed when sub badges, and I'm not calling anyone out because that'd be calling out like half of Twitch. I get so annoyed when sub badges are just recolorings of a previous sub badge. Because, at least in my mind, sub badges should be a way for everybody, not just the streamer or everybody to know who's been around at the stream longer. And when a sub badge is merely a recoloring, I never know how long anyone's been around without hovering over every single sub badge. So I know which sub badge is which, because they're all just colors. Like, why is blue? I don't know if blue is better than red.
See, what I don't like about sub badges is they can't see, yours are a little different because it's like a progression. But there are other ones where I like the 5 month or 6 months, whatever, the most, and I wish I could go back and choose it, even if I've been subbed to him longer.
I've had that, yeah.
Yeah, because like a streamer I watch has the Eevee emote, has Eevee ears on his character for the sub badges. One of them is Umbreon, my favorite Pokemon. I want that. But it's past. I've been subbed too long, and now it is no longer there, and that makes me sad.
Yeah, I don't think there's a good way, even if like you were to get Twitch to change its systems, because sub badges is supposed to show loyalty, and it gets a bit weird if everyone just sort of chooses which one they want. Like, hey, I like the 1 month. I want to just keep that forever. Like, that's a
fair point.
Like.
Yeah, but who are you showing off to? Are you showing off to the streamer? Or are you showing off to
other viewers? All right, other viewers, 100%. It's like
the
a
entire
flex.
Community. Yeah, it's a flex. Absolutely. If you have a founder badge in a channel, it's a flex.
Yeah,
I have another. There's so many rants I've seen people, including myself, have about founders badges. It's 100% flex. That's why my 1 year is a golden turnip with glasses, similar to Lee's Pusheen right now, because it's literally, we're acknowledging that it's a flex. It's literally a flex badge.
Okay, but what happens if you decide that for the 2-year one that it's going to be a diamond turnip? Like, what if I like the gold turnip though? That's my point. I would just want my Umbreon ears. Damn it!
I understand your point. I understand your point. I'm not dismissing your point. I'm saying that there's no good way. Like, again, if you could custom it, because I don't think that letting people choose their sub badge is healthy for the culture of sub badges.
Yeah, but you let people choose your other things next to it.
Yeah, but
I don't have to. I don't. Yeah,
because the point of sub badges is to make people want to stay. Like, you're supposed to be impressed with how long people have been in the stream, and then they have to be like, "Oh, I could get that if I'm around long enough." It's not so much, you as a viewer want to just have a nice Umbreon next to your name. It's you're supposed to make your other viewers want to sub longer so they can have that.
Yeah, well, maybe if someone's seen a character with Umbreon ears, they'd want to sub. All right, maybe that's the point. Like, you can mouse over it.
Well,
like,
then you gotta.
If you mouse over it, you can see how long you've been moused.
So yell at the streamer to. All right, I have such a rage against the logic of hover over, okay? Everyone's lazy. Nobody wants to hover over. Nobody wants to click on, okay? Like, that's the same argument. No. This is why we have the controversy of the new in-chat feature. Where, like,
but that's antithetical to what you just said about how you're flexing on people. The 6 month reward doesn't mean as much if people don't know what it is.
No, that's why. No, my original point.
That turnip means nothing to me.
I agree with you. Well, that's why my point is that it's supposed to be. Each of them need to be different, so that way, you may not know that the turnip means like 6 months, but if it's bigger than all the other turnips, like in the chat, you could assume that it's a longer sub badge, that they've been around longer, because that makes logical sense.
No, but that's not like based on anything. That is 100% your idea of a sub badge. How many people change the color of it?
No,
Oh,
that's why
I've been subbed for 3 months,
that's
so it's
why I
red.
brought up the
So it doesn't-
conversation.
yeah,
I literally said I don't like it when people
But there's plenty
have that.
there's plenty of channels that do that.
I
There's
know. I said
many out
that.
there.
I explicitly said at the beginning, I know everyone does it. I'm saying it annoys me because I don't want to have to hover over something to tell how far of a progression it is.
Yes, but this sounds like what you want your sub badges to do is different than what a sub badge really is. A sub badge is merely a identification that they have been subbed to you for however long. It doesn't mean anything. Like for me, I have one sub badge. It's for everyone, and I need to change that because it doesn't mean as much for the people that have been there for 1 year. I understand that, but I also feel like if I change it, you're gonna have people that say, "Why can't I go back to the original one? Maybe I liked saying pro gamer next to my name." Like,
I will say
so
all right. So I don't know if Boss and Lee have an opinion on this. I will say statistically, more people will like being able to flex on people with their sub badge compared to the amount of people who want a very specific sub badge.
yeah, how does giving me the ability to change my sub badge diminish the value of the
Because
like,
it doesn't
the 1
allow
year
it
at
doesn't
all?
it make people want to see if you have a shit ton of 1 year badges, that gives an impression in your channel. Versus like everybody in your channel is one, like if I'm on Lee's stream, right? If I'm on Lee's stream and Lee's partner and I see everybody have 1 year sub badges, all right? Whether they want to say they want to use that badge or not, that tells me that Lee is a streamer who can inspire the loyalty in her viewers to get them to stick around and sub for an entire year.
I mean, is it that, or is it peer pressuring someone into subbing to you?
Of course it's peer pressuring. That's half of the shit in Twitch.
Yeah,
all badges are peer pressuring.
I was just gonna say I feel really bad about my first sub badge because it's an empty plant pot. So literally, you're not even a plant; you're just a plant pot, and
Yeah,
like you need to come back for another month to actually have a little sprout coming out of your plant, and it's just a little stick sticking up. So my first 2 months, I actually don't like them because I'm calling you an empty plant pot.
Once again, are we? You know what that feels like? We're doing is we're pressuring people into being subbed to you longer, so that they can see their plant grow or their turnip grow.
That to me is 100% what sub badges are. It is 100% something to incentivize people to sub longer.
You're no longer caring about what the person wants from their sub badge as it is in what you want sub badges to do to your other people in your chat.
No, why do people have emotes? People do not. All right, you can argue there are a few exceptions. People have emotes because that incentivizes people to sub for said emotes. Why do you have whiskey emotes? Is it because you want to support whiskey?
Yes, she's had a hard time lately, all right? All right? Maybe you could go support her, all right? But no, that's a difference. I have something I want to use another. I don't use whiskey emotes as a flex on people. I have whiskey emotes because she has an Umbreon emote.
Yes, but you have to understand that people like to flex. You know how many people?
I don't care about people flexing. I don't want my chat to flex on other people in chat.
In my community who's in chat right now, but I won't call out their name just because people listen to this outside of the chat right now, who was literally going, "I'm gonna have the golden 1 year turnip flex soon," and then we're like, "No, you're not." And they're like, "What?" And we had to get them to look at their own sub month counter to see you're not gonna have it for like months, and then like it was a thing.
I'm just saying, I don't care. Like, it's silly that peer pressure is the goal of sub badges and not making your community happy, is what I would say. So, is there? I don't know.
I think that it's weird to make sub badges for a community happy when there's no way to get sub badges outside of just literally subbing month after month. Like, you can't say, even if I gift 500, like, they're not designed to make people happy. If it was, say, hey, you could have the Umbreon sub badge permanently if you sub to me, like, prematurely just sub to me for a year, and you could have an Umbreon sub badge, then I would agree to your point that people can, like, choose to prematurely sub and choose what they want. But it's literally you have to dedicate yourself to a long time to get anything. They are not designed for making people happy.
Yeah, but you have access to to changing so many things in your chat identity. Why not add that one little thing to it? Because you're not flexing on anyone with a golden turnip. Yes, it's cool if everyone in your chat has the same golden turnip. That's cool and all. And it's going to make new people feel very unwelcome and feel bad because they don't have the golden turnip. They're not going to have it unless they give you $5 a month for a whole year. Which is, like, I don't know, it's very exclusionary. And I don't like this, this idea of you're tricking people into subbing to you.
I don't know, boss. What are your thoughts on this? You've been very
pressuring
silent.
people.
I'll be completely honest. I did not know that this whole flexing thing was even a thing, so I'm just sitting here learning right now.
You've never thought of sub badges as flexing?
Absolutely not.
There's no. It's like because since there's no way of throwing money at the wall. So like to generalize this, why it's flexing. It's because there's no way way outside of literally dedicating a year to them to get a 1-year sub badge. You could be the richest person on earth and you could give 5,000 subs. Like all the, some crazy shrimp, your HoloLive VTubers, and you will still have a mere 1 month sub badge and nobody can change that. And it's
I mean, but you get access to the I donated 5,000.
No, absolutely. But the fact is that sub badges particularly are things that you cannot throw money at the wall to get, which is why it's a very unique style of flexing, because it's flexing loyalty. At least that's just the way eyes of other people see it.
Yeah, no, the bit badges definitely are a flex.
Bit badges is also
because
a flex.
It shows because I threw 100,000 bits at a person. But I'm just saying the sub badge itself, I don't understand why they don't let you change the identity of it when they let you change the identity of your color.
Because Twitch wants to encourage. It's literally, we just said this and you're complaining about it. I agree. Twitch wants to basically incentivize people, trick people into subbing more because that's how they make their money. That's just another, I don't know what's so hard about. I'm not saying it's a good, it's a healthy system. I'm just explaining that's why it is.
We are now at that point where we just bicker over something dumb.
Well, yeah, I'm also bickering over something dumb. We're about, I'm looking at the timer. That's why I'm starting to bicker over something dumb. But yeah, we are basically at the end of our podcast today. We're still going to be chatting afterwards for our post-podcast rant. Lee and Boss, you are free to stay for that or go as you please. I know you guys wanted to start at 8 specifically, so I don't know if you guys have more interesting people to talk to.
I have a bed that would like my head on it.
Also, Noctis,
just
come up with the band
just get on the other side of me. I'll just keep licking you. It's fine.
Okay, that works. Sounds good.
No. I'll make the band art. I'm not coming up with the band name every week. All right, you guys, listen. That's the one thing I won't do anymore. Every week, like for the past month, I've had to come up with the name, and it doesn't always stick. All right, you guys come up with a freaking band name.
All right, Boss, come up with a band name.
Band name for what?
So, see, you can tell Boss. You can tell that Boss listens to the podcast.
I do.
And you don't know what the band name is?
Nope.
every week, I think it started on the second episode. No, it started on the first episode. Never mind. We had someone in chat say, what was it? The Midriff Experience? Is that what first week was? They came up with a band name for the four people on the podcast. If they were in a band, what would it be called? And every week since then, we've pretty much come up with a band name. And lately, I've dedicated myself to making up channel or an album art for said band. And I am tired of coming up with a band name as well. Oh yeah, backsplash midriff. My bad. I apologize to the people in chat that are getting very upset at me right now.
Okay, so
Oh,
boss,
I'm terrible at thinking of names. Don't make me come up with a name.
You 100% have to come up with a name. That way, it's not my fault because you won't like the names that I come up with.
Well, shocked face there.
Oh,
Assumed it was going to have boss in it somehow, and I've just learned to accept it.
I don't know. Lee, do you have a
Um,
band name?
I'm thinking of how I can mash all of our names together and come up with some kind of boy band or K-pop band or something.
Okay.
That's
See,
tough.
but there's a big difference there. When you have a boy band, it's, usually some like clever name or like a couple phrases. All right, K-pop bands nowadays are just letters. All right, you just pick a bunch of letters, and then you just make an acronym that doesn't mean anything, and then that's the band name. And if you don't believe me, look at the newest bands that are coming out for K-pop.
I did do that K-pop inspired. One week I did a K-pop inspired album cover. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I was trying to think of all of our the letters of our names.
Boss apparently wants it to be Lant, L-A-N-T. Okay, there you go.
Okay. All
I
right,
was
fine.
just typing out words.
All right.
No, no, I like it because tFay's on the end. So you know what? That makes me happy. The little things in life, people. So I will say
Plant.
thank you, boss and Lee, for being here. Are you happy I called her boss tFay at once?
I am happy.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. So
Boss
thank you
and
for
Lee.
being here, guys. It was a lot of fun talking to you guys.
Thank you for having
any
us.
final words?
My name is not Licky Tongue.
That's the most motivating thing since I had a dream speech earlier.
It is.
You did not let me forget that, oh god.
Nope. I am going to. You know what I'm gonna
You
do?
asked.
All right, these
You
are recorded.
asked.
These are recorded. I'm gonna go get that speech.
No.
Then go to your channel, redeem, say this in French. And I'm just gonna copy and paste your entire speech, and you're gonna say it again in French.
Oh god. There's gonna be a lot of channel points. Let me just up the amount on that. Also, Adventures of Licking Noctis is what I came up with.
I like it better.
I have mixed feelings on that one.
That could be the album name.
I have mixed feelings on that one. Oh my god. All right,
Well,
cool. Amazing last words.
Hopefully you guys had fun. Hopefully you're willing to come on the podcast again. As a disclaimer, we are always looking for podcast guests, whether new or returning. Also, if anyone didn't know, we have a Patreon, which apparently you guys asked for and actually did contribute to that. So big shout outs again to Katie K, Banana Iced Lambie, Mr. Is Not Clean, and Vix is the best band ever. So help me, all you people who like anything else.
Oh my god, that's amazing. You didn't mention the sponsor of today's podcast yet either,
also our lovely
which is
sponsor,
kind of unusual.
Panda Buddy Studios. As you guys know, the more all the funds for our Patreon do go right to the podcast, which once Noctis is able to buy a mic that doesn't suck ass, we're gonna start putting that money into getting merch made for you guys. So hopefully look forward to that. Including we're gonna get a sticker of Pusheen licking boss. Yes, that's gonna be a sticker, 100%.
Beautiful.
I'll put that on the board directly behind me. I'm all about it.
Oh gosh.
Directly behind me, and I'm never going to turn, so nobody can ever see it.
Oh god damn it! Now we're gonna get inappropriate Rule 34 art of that. Okay, great. Mark that on things I'm excited about.
I'll make an edit. I'll make an 18+ subreddit if people want to start doing that.
Wait, a what?
An 18+ subreddit.
Oh, you okay? You didn't mean subreddit. Okay. God.
Hey, if we're gonna have like if we're gonna have people making NSFW fan art, we need a place for them to put it because I don't need it all going on Twitter.
Yeah, or on r/Nocto tFay love. That one is exclusively us. You know, we don't need other people's art on there.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, we joke about having fan fiction written about us. I'm sorry,
Right,
I got mistaken.
But yeah, anything else? Did we forget anything? Lee, how does boss taste?
Like they've been on an adventure. Kind of sweaty, actually.
My apologies.
The adventure too much.
It's true. It's true.
What a way to end a podcast. Love it.
Yep. Bye, guys.
Bye.